Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to my channel. So do you want to plan a foreign trip from India? Then you are the right place. Because in the last 24 months I have visited countries like USA, England, France and also Australia. And everything from the hotel rooms to the flight tickets and also the cars were booked by myself only. So today I have decided to share that knowledge with you guys. I'm going to discuss 5 essential things about a foreign travel, and they are visa, flights, hotels, food, and lastly how to travel in your destination. So let's start with visa because this is the first step you need to do. Visas for the first world countries generally cost around 5,000 to 10,000 Indian rupees, and you can check the approximate charges below. And only for USA you would actually need to go for a face-to-face interview. And in case you are not comfortable with English, don't even worry about it because your local center would have a translator for you. So language is not really a barrier here. One tip is, for the visa application, don't try to do it on your own. Instead, I would highly recommend you to contact a travel agent because they are the experts and they might charge you 1,000 extra, but their experience is worth this money. Because otherwise when you try to do it on your own, you might not know about a lot of things, so there is a high chance that you will mess up something and your visa would get rejected. Also, for the visa application you need to submit some papers, and some important things are income tax return documents for last 1 year at least, and also it's good to show at least 1.5 lakh rupees as a bank balance. Now guys, this is not really mandatory, but if you show that, your chances of getting an approval is really high. And by bank balance I mean you can show your FDs, your mutual funds, your SIPs, your recurring deposit, everything you can show. Now for the next item, which is flights. This is where you will be spending most of your money, so you need to book this really tactically. And here are my tips. Firstly, have a flexible journey date. Normally traveling in a midweek results in much lower fare prices than traveling in a weekend. Also search for tickets in sites like kayak.com or Skyscanner, where you can compare many airlines for cheaper prices. And also try to book the tickets at least 4 to 5 months before your journey because that will give you the cheapest prices. I'm also sharing this link in the description which contains some more tips about booking flights. Also guys, certain flight companies like AirAsia might show you a very low price compared to others, but there is a catch. Firstly, those flights are non-refundable, so you won't get anything back if you need to cancel the tickets. Secondly, they don't serve any free food. And also they don't allow any free luggage of 30 kg like others, so you have to pay more. So guys, you have to really consider all of that before you book your tickets. Sometimes you also need a transit visa, so always keep an eye for that. I have heard stories about people who did not know about transit visas, and when they wanted to go for a foreign travel, they got into so many troubles because of this. Now, hotels. I would highly recommend you to book this for yourself because this involves the least amount of risk. Now if you can stay in hostels, that would be always cheaper, but hostels are not really for everyone, and especially not for married people. So the best option is to book from AirBNB. AirBNB is same as a homestay, but there are 3 types of room available. First is shared room. This is same as hostels where other people will be living with you. Then you have private room. Here you will have a separate room for yourself under a house, but the common areas or the kitchens would be shared with other people. And lastly, there is entire home, and here you will have a separate house for yourself. This is best for the people who love absolute privacy. And all the above categories are way cheaper than hotels. You can get as low as 2,000 rupees per night. For example, in Australia, we stayed in this private cottage and it costed us just 10,000 rupees per night, which is way cheaper than a similar category hotel. And you might have some doubts about safety in Airbnbs, but let me assure you that this is totally safe. But don't book a place which does not have good reviews, and that's it, you should be good to go. Now for the fourth item, which is food. When I travel abroad, I tend not to spend too much on food. You would find burger or sandwich shops everywhere like McDonald's or Subways, and they offer really cheap food like $5 per meal. I personally always go for those. And if you're looking for rice, then I would recommend you to search for Chinese or Thai restaurants using Google Maps, where you can get fried rice. And if you prefer veg only, then it's little bit hard to find, but once you go to McDonald's or Subway, just tell them that you want veg only, and specifically tell them not to put any meat or egg. You can use Google Translator if the hotel people are not comfortable with English. And if you really want to have Indian food, it won't be really hard to find that because Indians are everywhere. But generally it costs more, so be prepared to pay a huge bill. And now for the last item, which is how to travel around in your final destination. So guys, once you reach the destination, you can book a cab or Uber to reach your destination hotel. Specifically, Uber here is very useful because there is no chance of getting conned, and I have used it many times in New York and UK. And guys, you can actually use the same app that you have in India. If you are comfortable driving a car for yourself, then the best solution is to hire a car for self-drive. I personally always try to do this. I generally book a car from Enterprise for the whole trip. You can pre-book the car from their website, and once you reach the airport, you can pick it up from there. And while returning, you can drop the car at the airport itself. This way you don't have to worry about traveling in your whole trip because the car is always with you. But if you are visiting a big city like London, NYC, Paris or any other European cities, don't take the car inside the city because you'll be stuck in traffic and it's really hard to find a parking space. And also the parking spaces cost a lot. So it's recommended to use the local metro service because all the big cities have them and they are super cheap. When I visited London and Paris, I pre-booked city tour passes. They can be booked online and they include free public transport like bus or metro and free entry to all major tourist attractions. This was super convenient for us and I would recommend these passes to everyone. And if any tourist location is not included in these passes, which is highly unlikely, then you can directly book them from their online websites. I would avoid any third-party middleman here because the cost goes up if you try to do that. Now if you are going for long distances like Sydney to Melbourne or Germany to Italy or something like that, then the first option is the rental car which you already booked because you will have a road trip memory to cherish for the rest of your life. But if that is not your thing, then the cheapest option is to book train tickets. Finally, I want to say that booking a trip in a foreign country by yourself looks frightening, but guys, it's not really that hard, especially if you follow my advice above. And still, if you have any questions, I would love to help you. Just leave a note in the comment section. So that is it guys. I'll meet you guys in my next video. Until then, peace.